Welcome to Mondays with Max. How are you guys all doing? I am Max Voltage, but you already knew that. Good to see you all. Let me see who is here tonight. We got Patrick Murphy, Second TL, Aragorn Strider, King Mining, not to be confused with Mining King, Ursa Prime, Aragorn Strider, Canadian Miner, Lesta Dog C57, Steven Cicero. Oh, thank you. I will set it to all messages to live chat. Just did that. Of course, that may Pettywhack Miner cut off a few people at the top. So if you said hi at the beginning, feel free to say hi again. DJ Mines, no Demo love. I love Demo. What are you talking about? I don't have to talk about it every week. Jeez. Overboard Tech, Tim I Am Crypto, Sadie Sometimes, All Set. Not All Set Miner. He's just all set, you know, kind of like Madonna or Prince, you know, those types of people. Anyway, S Chang, good to see you. Integra Guy 041, Bacon Eggs and Hash, Crypto Crag, Red Hawk, 4J, Dumpster Fire, T Gig, Georgie, John Germain, and I think that about covers it. I'm still scrolling down. Hobbyist Miner is here. Burn, 4J, and Blockchain Domain. If I missed you, I apologize. And let me see. I was tagged a few times here, so let me go address those. My name says it all. Got the max voltage from ComEd. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go over that in a little while. Good evening to Miami Crypto. And I think those are all the texts. Like I said, when I changed it to live chat, it cut off, I think, a few at the top. So, alrighty. Well, wait a minute. Aragorn Strider, those A6000s rent for around $15 a day. Wow. But they're also very expensive. So, yeah, I haven't actually worked that out to see like some of these more expensive cards to see if they if they'd be worth it to pay the premium. Yes, I am drinking coffee. I was up very late last night trying to figure out why I couldn't get Proxmox loaded onto this PC. I did finally, well, I'm trying to remember who came up with the idea, but basically, and I'm not sure if I had maybe had something to do with that, like said, hey, what do you think? Anyway, whatever. Anyway, I ended up loading with UEFI, but also allowing legacy ROMs to load in, and then lo and behold, it came up. I loaded it, and then I'm like, all right, enough's enough. I'm going to bed. That was like 3:30 in the morning. So yeah, didn't get a lot of sleep. Actually got home from work, took a 2-hour nap. So woke up, had dinner, and here I am. So there you go. That's like my last 24 hours. One of the other things we will be doing tonight, we will be doing the drawing for the 3060 Ti. It is for all the people that donated, both on Facebook and anywhere people donated. So what I did was I had actually set up a Facebook, not donation. Anyway, there's a Facebook donation type feature. And so I'm able to go in there to see who donated. So I added them to the list. And then the list is provided by each of the 2 charities that I had, and was able to pull off all the lists. Now, if anybody was anonymous, sorry, not going to be part of the giveaway because you were anonymous. So some of the people, I don't recognize the names. So I'm kind of, no offense to them, but I'm kind of hoping that I don't pick their name. But we shall see. So I've got 68 names. There were actually 69 donors since I donated as well. So there were 69 donors. Nice. Alrighty, but we'll go over that in a little bit. We'll talk about a few other things first. And I am really getting tired of, and hello, Joker Miner, getting tired of dealing with ComEd. So, if you were on the Saturday night live stream, you might have noticed that I wasn't around a lot for that stream because I don't know, about 15 minutes into the stream, I'd guess, I noticed that my Vast AI rigs were down, but only the ones that were in the basement. I have one sitting behind me. So I went down there to find the entire rack deader than a doornail. I'm like, what just happened? So then I looked at the PDU. I have an APC switched PDU, and there were no lights on it at all, but it was plugged in, and the power meter was still showing power, but it was almost at 252 volts, which is well above the spec for that. That particular PDU, if I recall, only is spec'd for like 230 plus or minus whatever, and I'm 240, so I still fall within that range and should have been fine, but obviously was not. So currently, I'm running on a backup PDU. I'm running on a triplet PDU that is meant for 240, so should have a higher upper bound to it. So I opened up a claim. Well, I haven't opened up the claim yet with them, but I opened up a trouble ticket with them on Saturday night. They said they were going to come out Sunday, didn't. Supposedly, yes, I was at 250 volts. Yes, right now I'm at almost 249, so it varies. But yeah, so called them. They said they're supposed to come out on Sunday. Then we're supposed to come out today. They supposedly did whatever they were going to do today and closed out the ticket at 12:44 without a single note on the ticket saying what they did or what they found. So not even a no trouble found, which is what you should do if you have no trouble found. And called, and so they re-escalated it to a supervisor. And I did not ask for the supervisor. They said that. So they said they're going to try to get somebody out here tonight. We'll see. Yeah, I did actually tag ComEd on this video, basically saying I was going to talk about them tonight. Not happy at all. I understand that you can have problems, but it's not like you have outages or anything. It's been beautiful weather. It hasn't been windy. Yes, other things, certain things are going to fail. So it's not like they have nothing going on. But in comparison to when there's bad weather and things like that, relatively speaking, I imagine it's pretty darn quiet there. So bring somebody out here, have them measure the voltage inside the house and outside the house, and I don't know. So Allset says, yeah, solar is super clean. Mine comes back steady at 244, 243.8. Yeah, and I do have solar as well, but the actual what I've been finding is that the voltage is worse at night when the solar's not on. So it kind of makes me wonder, is there something going on with the line side tap? I don't know. I don't know what the issue is, but for somebody just to close it out and say everything's fine is just pretty darn annoying. And now that you said that, Allset, that makes me wonder if when the guy measured it, it was fine. But if that's the case, that may have something to do with the fact that I had a good portion of my energy being provided by solar at that time. The other thing, I'll go back to that in a second, Old War. Well, actually, I'll go to that now. The North American residential power is 240, and there's always a plus or minus 2%, 2-ish percent, I should say. That's still within the margin. High for sure, but doubt 249 would kill the PDU, except that PDU's nominal input voltage says it's 230. Doesn't say 240 on it. Now, with that said, that's what it says its nominal voltage is, period. It doesn't say 200, whatever. It doesn't give any of the other ones, the other standards. So it makes me wonder if that's the case. And the way that it failed is exactly how a power supply or a PDU, when it went into over voltage protection, would act. So I won't know until I decide, okay, I'm just going to take everything down for a few minutes so that I can plug the PDU back in to see if the lights come on. And what I will do is I will reset. There's 2 breakers on the PDU. I don't think both of them would have gone. I think this isn't the breakers per se. I think it's an over voltage protection circuit that would have triggered. But I'll do that just to make sure, and we'll go from there. We'll see. Now, interestingly enough, ERTED might be the transformer leg going bad. That was what was interesting. Is no, I agree, Overboard Tech. I'm just saying what the spec was on it. I don't know where anybody would get 230, but it says nominal voltage 230 volts. I don't know. But ERTED, I actually have a 120 tester thanks to Matt Electron using this, and it appears that it is equal across both legs. Now I am very close to the transformer. So, I mean, pretty much everybody is, though. We have transformers like every 4 houses. So the maximum you can be away is like 2 houses. Well, it's in our backyard. So we are the closest. So I would expect that we would have somewhat higher voltage than others. But anyway, so Overboard, I definitely don't disagree. We should be fine at 248. Well, it was at 252 last night, which technically, the spec that I've seen, I did some looking up, plus or minus 6% should be fine, which puts it up to like 254 if I did my math right. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I'm really trying to figure out if it just bit the dust or whatever, but find it very interesting that I do check that meter fairly regularly, at least a couple times a week, and I've never ever seen it go over 250. And the fact that it was almost 252 when it went down, kind of is a little telling to me. So I could be completely wrong, but could be completely circumstantial evidence. But as far as I'm concerned, they're the ones who killed it, and they are actually sending me a claim form. Actually, I'll probably just look it up online and fill it out. But got to definitely see if it in fact is dead or if it just went into over voltage protection. And if that's the case, it should actually come back when I plug it in. So we'll see. We will see. All right, let me check out some of the other comments. Oh, guys, that explains why the stream was so short. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't there taking up space. And CryptoCrack says transformer probably just needs adjusted. They have tap changers that can knock it down a bit. Oh, yeah, definitely. I forget what they're called. There's like a specific name for them. I don't know what they're called. They're not called knockdown tabs. Not knockdown tabs. Knockdown. I can't think of it. Anyway, I did a bunch of reading, so I am aware. Red Hawk asks, did I put that dual GPU rig on VAST? Well, I already have one dual GPU rig on VAST, but the one I was building is not on VAST yet. It took me a long time last night just to get Proxmox onto it. Now that it's on there, yes, I'm probably going to do that. I actually probably need to go downstairs with my my USB keyboard and mouse and actually turn the fans back up on it, because I basically reset the BIOS when I was doing it. Second TL says, did you get the workstation working in Proxmox last night? Yes, that I did. I did get that working. What was that? Yeah, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, you were there, second TL, I think, when I didn't. Maybe you weren't there, but I thought you were there when I said it. But yeah, it is working. Not doing anything yet, but it's working. I haven't gotten I haven't done anything with it other than just getting it installed and bringing up the virtual environment. So I have that up on the computer. This is the one I'm calling Xeon 1. In fact, I will bring it up. And then I was going to share something else as well. Actually, a couple other things that I forgot about that I was going to do tonight. I will do those as well. I do want to go through um, my ComEd bill, because I've been getting a lot of questions about, well, how do you figure out what your cost per kilowatt is? And so I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to show how I get that number. Second TL says, are all your rigs rented at the moment? Yes. And I can pull up each one. I don't have each one up right now. I have two of them up in Putty. So bacon, eggs, and hashtag, what's the benefit of 2 GPUs? So obviously they do more work. But what I'm doing with my 2 GPU rigs, because you have stable diffusion is the most common thing that people are using right now. And that can only run on 1 GPU. And right now, the most common thing that's rented is 1 GPU rigs. So what I'm doing is I'm actually using Proxmox, doing virtualized environment and doing 2 VMs and doing 1 GPU on each VM. So I, like with the workstations I have, the one I have right now it's 2 6 cores. So I'll have 1 6 core for one GPU and 1 6 core for the other GPU. So that way, you don't have to buy 2 computers, 2 motherboards. So you're using, it's more cost effective. So like, for instance, before I do that, thanks for the super chat, CryptoKeg. I appreciate it. Transformer adjustment fee assistance. LOL. Well, they're supposed to come out and do that themselves since that's their equipment. So we'll see. The Mining King, Max, do you prefer mining or AI at the current moment? Well, I prefer what makes me money. I prefer AI for 2 reasons. One, it is what makes me money. The other, it's what's new. It's where I'm learning. Yes, I learn things when I'm mining as well. I'm not saying, but the when I'm doing mining things right now, I don't learn as much because I've been doing it for a while. AI, on the other hand, I haven't been doing that long. I haven't been doing a lot of the things that is required in order to be effective at AI. I'm learning pricing. I'm learning, we're all learning, like, how do you get verified? What are they looking for? Verification definitely increases your profits. So all of these things are interesting to me. And so right now, yes, I enjoy AI right now more than mining. Let's see. So anyway, so going back to second TL's question of what is going on my rig. So one of them is my 3070. And as you may know, 3070s aren't the best for AI, but I am doing mining on my 3070. So I've got QLI runner, which is, I forget what it's called, but yeah. And what's weird is, like, in the actual program arguments is the wallet address. So I found that a little unusual that I can actually see what the guy's wallet address is. So these are honestly some of the challenges that new players in the market may be saying, I'm not willing to go to market with something like that. Yeah, so that's not great if I'm the user, but maybe they just don't care that they're disclosing that. So got that. And then I forget what else. Let's see. Yeah, this one actually gives me the stratum that they're mining to for the GPU. The QLI runner, I believe, is the CPU mining. And then I'm not sure. I know there's a way, but I'm not sure what it's using for on the actual graphics card itself. Usually it'll say like Gminer or something like that. This just says ./miner and then gives me the stratum. Oh, okay. I'll get to that in a minute. Let me check my other Vast AI rig. And this one, oh, this one's on mining too, actually. And is this the same? Yeah, this is the same one. So this is the 4070. So my 4070 and my 3070 are both mining right now. Now they are my two lowest priced rigs right now, which would make sense. But I am still making money with them, even with the power that they are using. It's not phenomenal, but it's a lot better. It's phenomenal compared to mining. Let's put it that way. So yeah. My other ones though, like my 3090s, they're I have not seen them do mining yet, but they're also priced higher. I'm really hoping I can get verified soon. It would be very nice. Let's see. Yes, I know crypto, but now interestingly enough, crypto 440, yeah, you can get a whole home surge suppression to hook into your panel. Yes, I could, but this wasn't a surge. This is gradual increase in voltage. So this is over voltage protection, not surge protection. The 4070 price, I know you said you're at about 10 cents. You know what? Actually, this is good timing. Let me share my screen. No, I know. There is nothing on this one. And the other thing I'm going to bring up, I already deleted the IP addresses. So should be good there. And so hang on, let me do that. Share screen. Entire screen. There we go. Share. And add to scene. There we go. So these are my rigs. So the 4070 I've got set at 7.9 cents per hour. I've got the 3070 at 8.5 cents per hour. You're like, yeah, why would that be higher? I don't know. That one's been rented consistently. Now, what's interesting is this was rented on demand for a long time. Whoever that was hopped off, probably did hop off actually when my rig went down. And now it's just interruptible. Now, my interruptible is only at 6.9 cents. So the difference between on demand and interruptible, I mean, it kind of is in the name. Interruptible means it will run until somebody else comes in and says, I want to do an uninterrupted job. And it says, okay, I want that one. It's going to interrupt the other job. So it will fall off. So if you have a job that matters, something other than mining, you probably want to do on demand. So if you ever see an interruptible job, it's probably more often than not mining, because like I said, you get interrupted for an hour. It's almost kind of like, so what? You'll just go back to mining when it's done. My other ones are all on demand, even though the 4070 is also doing mining. My 2 3090s I've got listed at 11.5 and 11 cents. And I have it. I generally, as my reliability goes up, I raise the price. So, and I started out the 13090 at 10 cents, and I've since been ratcheting it up. So right now, I think it's still stuck on somebody that actually rented it early and just hasn't let go. And he can stay on there until November 30th. So one of the things I also learned was if you extend your expiration date, I think at that point, the client has the ability to either extend it. They have the ability to extend it. So now all of these guys can stay on it until 11:30 if they so choose. So oh, that's a good point. They can be outbid. Oh, sorry. The question was, can an interruptible job be outbid? Yes, an interruptible job can be outbid. So if somebody else decides they want to pay more for an interruptible job. But now, interestingly enough, it's hard to tell if that's what's going on. From what I've seen, it doesn't seem like that's what's happening, but it might be. I'm looking now that I'm looking at my 3070. My interruptible price is 6.9 cents per hour. So I'm kind of wondering if it did get outbid and that's why it's at a slightly higher price than my minimum. It's a great question. Wow, a lot of interaction. I appreciate it. That's awesome. All right, let me the one where he's responding to bacon, eggs, and hash. Oh, okay. Overboard Tech says, if you need to run your compute to pay your power bills, I get it, but man, this vast thing is so short-sighted. I don't get that comment. I don't. It's not like I'm running it just to pay my power bill, and it is making me money on the side. And I can use this money to purchase crypto if I so choose. So, and being where we are in the market, yeah, I choose to invest what I can in crypto. So I don't know where that is. Now, as far as it being short-sighted, that's where I definitely disagree. And here's the reason why I started talking about this on Friday. But you have the ability to set up a job to mine until you're rented by setting up a minimum bid, and that if you don't reach that minimum bid, you are going to mine instead. If you get above that, then you switch to your vast job. So and then by doing that, you make it, you're one less person who's on whatever you were mining, which means it makes it more profitable for other miners that are still out there mining. To me, that makes it a lot better for the ecosystem in my estimation. So yeah, I feel like the two meld very well together. Max voltage mining and crypto, question on storage. Noticed your SSD NVMe speeds are fairly low. You have NVMe or SATA SSD. So yeah, that's what's actually kind of interesting. Obviously the bottom one, I do have NVMe. Sorry, hold on a second. All right. That's the only one that I have an NVMe. All the other ones are SSDs. So yeah, you can tell the speeds, and I didn't go out and get like the highest performing SSDs or something. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what my next one is. Well, we can talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But I'll talk about my build and what I did, because I did do some things a little bit differently than what King did. All right. Let me see what I might have missed as far as the questions. Oh, Mining King said, thoughts on nodes and other passive income instead of mining or AI. I have been looking at lots of different things. In fact, there's a great video by your friend Andy. If you are not subscribed to your friend Andy, you are missing out. Flat out, you are missing out. He's got great content. Doesn't put out a ton of content, but the content he puts out is completely on target. And one of his latest ones, he talks about DPIN. DEPIN. Can't remember exactly what it stood for, other than the I stood for infrastructure. So these are infrastructure projects. So yes, Flux falls under that. Helium falls under that. Crank falls under that. Demo, Hivemapper, node projects, all of that is infrastructure. And he basically looked at it as, the last bull run. What was it? DeFi. That was the theme around the last bull run. He believes, and it's an interesting concept, and I don't think anybody can say for sure whether or not this is going to be it or not, but he thinks the theme this bull run is going to be deep in projects, infrastructure projects. So AI, obviously, AI projects fall within that realm as well. So definitely very interesting to me to see if that comes to fruition. Like I said, your friend Andy is one smart cookie. Uh, check out his videos. He throws out so many ideas on how you can make extra money. Just pick one. Don't get overwhelmed by all the options. Pick one that you can latch onto and try it. Maybe it's not going to work. And that's another thing he talks about is, and he has the luxury to do this, of course, because he's made a lot of money in some of his plays, but he'll invest in like 50 things just looking for the one, 1000x. So he can afford to lose money on 49 other projects just to make the huge win on the one. So anyway, like I said, if you haven't subscribed to him, go subscribe to him. Also a great guy. I did meet him at Cypherpunk, played poker with him. Totally cool guy. Laid back. It was fun. It was fun. So as far as the other key thing though with the nodes is you're not going to get rich with nodes, at least not now, but it's profitable. So yeah, in huge numbers, it's going to be really profitable, but you got to put some investment into it. But right now, because the market's down, the investment's relatively low. So is your reward because it's based upon the crypto that you're, investing in. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of node projects, smart master nodes, I should say. Obviously, the Neoxa master node has been very profitable for those people that are into it. I have not done a Neoxa master node. Now it went up a lot in price, so now it's fairly pricey to get in, a couple $1,000. So yeah, that one's a little bit tough. But like I know, somebody I know got into pre-search last night, figured out it was $86 for a node. That's it. Just to take a little nibble. Try a pre-search node, see what happens, and put it on Flux. You can roll it out on Flux. I was comparing with Second TL his reliability score, and it was Flux was comparable to what he had with a hosting company. So yeah. So anyway, so I have both two pre-search nodes, working towards my third pre-search node. Obviously have my Flux nodes. Actually, I didn't even check to see what was going on with them today. Well, I won't check it now because it'll distract me if any of them are down. But they've been doing really, really well ever since I got once I got the MikroTik up and running the way it was supposed to be. It's been like rock solid. The only problems that I've had have been like Saturday night when the power went down. But other than that, it's been doing great. All right, let's see what other questions. Ivan Yoon, I priced my 3070 at 8.5 cents, but it's not rented for 8.5 cents. It's rented for less because that person's been on it for so long. Joker Miner says he dropped his to 9 cents is 4070 and it's not rented. Yeah, that's kind of why I got to where I was. I was below somebody else's 4070. So basically I made it so that I was only slightly lower than the next unrented person. All right, so I'm behind in the chats. Let me look to see. So Patrick Murphy says, I will agree with Overboard Tech if all you do is take 100% of the fiat and hold that. I think Red Fox's 50-50 sell hold in reverse is the better long-term strategy. Yeah, agreed. I mean, yeah, so if you're just going to take the cash and use it for living expenses or saving somewhere else, I think that's short-sighted. But and thank you, Unknown, for the Gesundheit. Appreciate that. Second TL said, how are you finding dealing with the heat from AI compared to mining, seeing it's going at max TDP? Really what it's about total power. So with everything running in the basement, when I was just mining Dynex or Radiant, I mean, I was at about 2,500 watts. Right now I'm at about 3,500 watts. So that's with adding additional hardware down there. So yeah, it's going to generate a little bit more heat, but we're going into winter. So yeah, it's not really a worry right now. Obviously, when it comes to next summer, might have to rethink a few things if I start trying to run at full. In other words, if I roll out enough things in the basement where I'm at over 5,000 watts, yeah, that will get a little toasty down there. Little toasty. Let's see. Okay, I think I caught up. If I missed any one of your chats, feel free to. I'm going scrolling back up to see what I might have missed. Yeah, Aragorn Strider says, don't extend your date while listed. Unlist, extend, set pricing, relist. This is a bug that resets bandwidth price to effectively 0 if you extend while listed. Was not aware of that. Thank you, Aragorn Strider. I appreciate that. Huh. I'll have to look at that. Okay. Oh, okay. So Paduak Miner said, with storage, I see you have the 3090 on faster SSDs. Is it best practice to do that? Yeah, I mean, any best practice. You're competing against others. So if you're shopping and I've got one guy at 12 cents and I got another guy at 10 cents. The guy at 10 cents has slower upload and slower drives than the guy at 12 cents. It depends on your workload. So you have greater value if your specs are greater. I mean, obviously the teraflops, and there's I forget what it is called, but if you look in and do a search within VAST, there's another score that I'm drawing a blank on that I'm sure somebody's going to put in the chat for me, right? Second TL. But anyway, whatever that other ranking is, that's supposed to give you an idea of the ability of that particular rig, but it isn't a perfect science. So David G says, does your solar ramp down when the grid voltages are high? Our local energy provided was deliberately raising the grid voltage as a way to curtail the solar, with most people not even noticing. Huh. I don't, yeah, and it wouldn't happen at night. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it tells me how much it's producing and it has to go somewhere. So I'm not really sure how that would work. I mean, you have power coming in and power coming in from the grid, but if that solar has nowhere to go, it's going to go into your house. It has to. Otherwise, it's going to damage your solar system. And so far, I haven't seen any damage out there. But yeah, I suppose that it could damage that as well, I suppose. But interesting. Appreciate you mentioning that. Let's see. Yeah, and it definitely wouldn't make a difference at night. Yeah, obviously, because it's not doing anything. And that's really where I found the high voltage was at night. During the day, it comes down, I'm guessing, because I'm feeding more of it with solar. So in a way, where I'm at right now, it's still better than it's been. It's just not where it needs to be. It's like 248 at night. I was definitely seeing the higher peaks of over 250 the last couple nights. Steven Cicero says, does it even pay to mine on a rented system? Interesting. So the things that are being mined on my rigs are things that aren't even on exchanges yet, or they're on very, very small exchanges. So these are people that probably live in higher power areas and are making a long-term bet on a particular crypto. So that's what I suspect. And I don't know how many people are doing this QLI runner, but I've had it mining on one or two of my rigs for a bunch of time. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I think I'm now back into, yes, I was back into things that I had already read. So, okay. Let me go back to my list of topics. Minimize that. Minimize that. Not that. Well, wanted to look at the thumbnail to figure out what I was going to talk about. Well, anyway, so that's all my ComEd stuff. Um, so we'll see what happens. Hoping that they will come out and exactly do what a couple people have mentioned, step it down, get it down at least 5 volts. Kind of like having a little bit higher voltage because I mean you have a certain amount of power that you can use, but higher voltage at the same current, you're going to produce a little bit more power, but that also means you're going to produce heat and all the things that go along with it. Okay. So going to the two workstations I'm building. So they're going to be each going to be 3060s. And one of the reasons why I'm building them like I'm building them is because they're on Dell Precision T7810s. So I bought two of them thanks to a particular other YouTuber who sold me them for $50 each because that's what his price was, which is awesome. They only came with one processor. So what I did was I took one of the processors out of one, put it in the other one, so they now have the same processor. So they both came with 6-core processors. Then I ordered two more. These were each $25 each. These are 8-core version 4. Not that you can see what it is, but anyway, 8-core version 4 Xeons. So I'll be putting those in the second machine. I also needed to get coolers. So I ended up getting this is the empty box, but it's this is the one I already used. NHU9DX. That cooler. So I got two of those, and I'm trying to remember. I mentioned it the other night. Let me see if I can find it again. It was like Green PC Gamers. Oh, I'll talk about that in a little bit. So Green PC Gamers is a find that while I was looking at figuring out how I was going to build this out. I know I'm in the process of doing that. And let me get this larger. I did. Mining King, Sunflower Mama just called you out. Said, make it big so Mining King can see it. Anyway, so, but this is the hardware upgrade guide. So I took a look at this, and one of the interesting things was, and they have a video on this too, where in order to use the U9DX, you can't use the springs. So they suggest using number 10 split lock washers. I did that, worked perfectly. And you put 4 of them in place of the springs. Worked like a charm. Then you need a 4-pin to 5-pin fan adapter so that you can adapt to the fan header on the Dell motherboard, the Dell proprietary motherboard. Yep, it worked. The only thing that I found was, because it's a proprietary motherboard, if you do a test, it's going to tell you that the CPU cooler, or the fans on the CPU cooler, the second one that you just installed, fail because they don't ramp up to the same fan speeds as the stock one. The stock one ramps up to like 5,000. They're like, might as well be Delta fans. They're pretty darn loud. But yeah, so that was the first thing I looked at. And then they talk about memory part numbers and all that. But this was what I found interesting, was what hard drive should you get, and does not have an NVMe slot on the board. So what I did was, I got one of these, a Sabrent. Here, let me undo the share. And there. Nope. Shoot. Let's just do that. There we go. Got one of these. I know it's blurry. There we go. So it's a PCIe adapter with an NVMe going into that. And then I got a 2 terabit team group drive. So actually it was a 2-pack. And I think they were each like right around $40, a little bit less than $40 for each of those 2 terabit drives. I mean, 2 terabit. Now that is, I believe, Gen 3. I wasn't too worried about getting Gen 4, but I wanted the capacity. Yeah, I forget where it is, but I'm pretty sure this is Gen 3. Otherwise, I can't imagine I get Gen 4 for this price. So anyway, so I did that. Hello, Red Panda. Good to see you, sir. All right, who was kicked? Obvious. So I'm trying to think of what else did I do. Oh, I had to get a separate PCIe cable because the one that comes with it is an 8-pin to 2 6-pins. So you need an 8-pin to 2 8-pins. And you're all going to go, well, why didn't you get veteran miners cables? Yeah, I know. I was impatient. I just wanted to get it up and running. So I bought from the devil. And the devil being Amazon. So what else did I get for this thing? I mean, I think that mainly covers all the changes. I mean, the hardest part was like chipping off the old thermal paste because it was crusty, very crusty. But managed to get that done without doing any damage. Jeffkey, good to see you, sir. I'm just sitting here going through in my mind like all the parts that I got. And then obviously I had to get memory for the second one. I stole the memory out of the second one, put it in the first one in the first bank for the first CPU. And then I got another set of memory for the second CPU, as well as for the other PC. So Unknown says, weird looking PCIe to NVMe adapter. Why so many spaces between the pins? That's a great question. And the reason for that is because that can go into an X4 slot, an X8 slot. In fact, let me pull that up. So it says on the car on it, let me see if I can get it to focus. X16, X8, X4. So that's why it can go into any one of those slots because of the spaces. So pretty cool little device. It's going for me into an X16. So, but honestly, anything X4 is going to be fine for an NVMe. It's going to give enough bandwidth for that. Certainly Gen 3. But it's good that it has the stability of having having the rest of it. And honestly, it's probably harder for them not to do it with pins than with pins. Plus, if they don't put the gold on there for the other pins, it might damage the other pins in the socket. So it just made sense for them to build it the way that they built it. I'm kind of curious to see if it is actually using all 16, but not sure. Yeah, the ZV1 Argon Strider, the ZV1 is definitely fast. So yeah, I do like my ZV1. Was kind of a pain getting it to go back to the right settings after the trip because I had set it to different settings for vlogging and stuff like that, although didn't really do a lot of that. I'm just not practiced at it. I need to get more practice at it. I need to do it like what DJ does. Just go out and take a walk and just carry it and just talk to the camera. Kind of like what Sunflower Mama did when she went out. Yeah, she said, well, just do it better. In other words, doing it better than her. She did fine. I thought that video was great. So, yeah, Javier said, just turn it on and go. Don't think, just do. I know. So that goes back to one of the greatest sets of, the greatest advice I ever got from someone when I went into a new industry. So I went into the bike industry, and you may have heard this story before, some of you, but went into the bike industry as a sales guy. and had not been in the industry, I've been in a pure sales role before, but not one where I was going out to like visit with the customer for the most part. Most of it was remote. So I talked with a fellow rep in the field. He worked for Specialized, I worked for Giant. And I said, so what's the best piece of advice that's going to make me, the most successful? He's like, just turn the key every day. I'm like, what? Turn the key? He's like, yeah, get in your car, drive it out of the driveway, and pick a shop to go visit. If you're out seeing your customers, you're going to be successful. You're going to be better than 80% of all the other reps, because so many reps sit on their butts and don't go out and visit their customers. They do everything via phone. You'd be much more respected if you actually go out and visit your customers. And I did that. And I did gain the respect of my customers and the dealers I dealt with. And hey, maybe they were just blowing smoke up my butt, but they seem to all love me. So yeah. So anyway, so yes, that's good advice, hobbyists. Just turn it on and go. That's like the hardest thing, is just hitting the record button. Anybody who's a YouTuber, probably can relate to this. Hitting the record button is the hardest thing. It's the hardest part. Once you hit the record button and you start talking and you start getting into it, it's a lot easier. It's just getting that start. That's the problem I have when as far as content and such. Hey, but did you notice since my last live stream last week, I did 3 shorts. 3. Okay, yeah, Sunflower Mama pushed me to do a couple of them just because they were easy content. Like, these are interesting, easy content. So, and thanks again to Goat for turning me on to CapCut. That's been a pretty cool little piece of software for editing and such of shorts. So, alrighty. Now, what maybe you were all here for, I gotta find a random number generator of 1 through 68 to pick a winner. A winner? Anybody else miss the EVGA Saturday, or not Saturday, Friday evening streams? I miss those. Random number generator. I could just use the one in Google. All right. So let me put this. I'm not taking anybody out. If your number gets called and you don't want to win it, then we'll move on to somebody else. But I put everybody in there. I know there were a few people that said, I don't want to win it, but I'm giving everybody equal opportunity, and we'll address it if that happens. So that's where I'm leaving it right now. And let me share the screen. Oh, that's right. And I can do, where is that? Right there. I know. Yeah, these are all from the people that donated. We hit the 10,000, and I said, if we hit 10,000, I'm giving away a 3060 Ti. And sorry, I'm not the guy that's going to do the clickbait saying giveaway on my stream. I'm doing this for the record, so that people can see how I did it. Not for publicity or anything like that. I want to give away to the community and everybody that donated, or give everybody a chance. Yeah, that's what's happening here. All right, so let me reshare my screen. And there it is. Share and add to scene. There we go. Let me make this bigger. I think you guys can all see that. All right, let's go. And drum roll. 46. Now the question is, who's 46? And of course I have it on a different screen. That figures. All right, I'm gonna remove from scene. So you know that's number 46. I gotta find that spreadsheet again, that tab that I had it on. GPU giveaway. I know what I called it. There it is. Switch to this tab. There it is. And I'm just going to do a quick sneak peek so you can see. In fact, I'm going to, let me see. Yeah, these are all people that had, okay. Yeah, that works. Oh, it is. Oh, wow. I think this person's here. Pretty sure this person's here. Oh, it's definitely going to, people are going to think it's rigged now. This is a person that I think is on my streams a lot. Hey, Joker. Send me your real name. Send me your real name in a DM. I think Joker's the winner, but he put his real name. A lot of the people, thank you to everybody that did. A lot of people put their first name, their crypto name or YouTube name, and then their last name. And that made it a lot easier to figure who was. Yes, you are the winner, sir. I don't know if he wins everything, but he did win. So hang on a second. Let me, I want to zoom this in and I will show you guys on the spreadsheet. Because it's not the left-hand side, it's the right-hand side because this didn't start at 0. So I made a number on the right-hand side, but you will see. All right, now let me add to scene. And there he is, Matt Plumley at 46. So congrats, Joker Miner. God, why did I have to pick him? He's such a pain in the butt, making me create poker games all the time. God, and taking all my chips. Anyway, congratulations. It's going to take me a while because busy week ahead actually, but I will be actually pulling that out of a rig. I'm currently mining on it. I'll be pulling it out of a rig and shipping that off beginning of next week. And by the way that I say I'll be shipping it off, I really mean that Sunflower Mama will be shipping it off. So, Mr. Joker Miner, please send me your address as a DM. I would very much appreciate that. No problem. And again, thank you to everybody that donated. This was awesome. I had set the $10,000 goal and didn't really have any idea how I was going to get there. Just that was the number I wanted to hit. So it was just really a stretch goal. Didn't know. And wow, people, during the stream, it was at like 6,500. Yes, there were a few big donations. That's the way a lot of these things go. Very much appreciate all those donations. I won't call people out because I don't know if they want to be called out, but very, very much appreciate it. Sunflower Mama really appreciates it. So humbled, honestly, by the whole experience. Plan on doing the same thing next year, hopefully with a little bit better plan, a little bit more, hopefully, entertainment, a little bit more structure. I want to do another video with Sunflower Mama, maybe a little bit more produced where it's, a little bit. She did great. Not saying the video wasn't good. I just want to be able to edit it better than I did. This is editing, not her. This is editing. The other part of it is like now, like I'm kicking myself. I bought a Rode microphone for the trip, but she could have used that Rode microphone for when she made this on her phone, or she could have taken the ZV-1 and used the ZV-1 to do it. So all of it could have been with a little bit higher quality video and sound than it was. So not on her, just on the production value of it. So yeah, I'm always looking to do that going forward. But yeah. Oh, Joker, are you in Illinois? How did I not know? If you're in Illinois, how did I not know that? Well, he could be in Wisconsin too. Anyway, let me put it this way. How far away are you? That would be the key. Anyway, DM me. You don't need to tell me. DM me. We'll work out the details. So I appreciate all that. Yes. You guys can all see who are up here can see. Oh, you closed it. All right. Well, those people that could see it at the time could see what their numbers were. Right. But all of these are mainly crypto because this was like during the stream, although there were a few names down there I didn't see. Yeah, my sister was on there, and the guy that stood up on my wedding. Yeah, I forgot about those people that were on there. What was that? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let's figure something out. Let's figure something out. Yeah, I was kind of thinking, I wasn't thinking Hivemapper. I was just kind of thinking, yeah, a trip to kind of meet in between, see maybe if there's anybody else, see if we can figure out a place to meet and have lunch or something. So, yeah, sounds like an opportunity to me. So, yeah. Okay. I know there's something I haven't talked to. Oh, what I haven't talked about yet. Speaking of Hivemapper, wow, great transition. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is finally the thing that Ovalbore Tech used, and I think his has failed, so hopefully maybe I'll have a little bit better luck. But I finally got a GPS repeater. What was funny about this was Amazon was like, "We don't have it yet. Do you want to cancel?" Like, no, I don't want to cancel. I want it. So I just kept ignoring it. And literally like the day before this shows up, it says, "We don't have it yet. Do you want to cancel?" And then all of a sudden this thing shows up on my door the next day. It's like, what the heck? So that will be a project probably for next weekend. Although it shouldn't take much to set it up. It looked pretty easy to set up, but yeah, I've noticed that I lose out on earnings because the GPS signal cuts out. So I'm hoping that if I put this in there based on what Overboard Tech had said, hopefully my Hivemapper earnings will get a bit better. Okay, is it the same one, Overboard Tech? Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, I have no doubt I'll be able to set it up. It's just a matter of, where to tuck the wires. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, I don't have kids, so I'm not taking people places. So it is pretty much just me in the car, maybe me and the wife. And so just need to relatively tuck them up, kind of like I did, the demo cable underneath the floor mat, and underneath the seat is where the demo sits, those types of things. So, but yeah. All right. I have been going over an hour. That's amazing. It does not feel like it's been an hour. And I feel like I have missed one of my topics. What did I miss? I did the ComEd. Oh, I guess I did. I did the ComEd. I did the Hivemapper, and I did the Vast AI. I felt like there was something else I was going to do with Vast AI. Yeah. Yep, that's all I pretty much planned on talking about. Well, if anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we will give you the rest of your night. Yeah, Overboard Tech. I get dick for earnings without it, and it's perfection with it. Yes, same exact model. Yeah, that's what I've been finding. I don't know if it's something they put in the software or whatever, but it has gotten worse, not better. I just don't know where that's coming from. You think about it, your cell phone's in the car. It's in every cell phone, and it gets good coverage, for good GPS coverage. If it's a cloudy day out, forget it. Forget it. So I don't know, maybe it's because cell coverage, or not cell coverage, but what am I trying to think of? The cell phone maybe is also getting help from Wi-Fi, maybe, where it's picking up different Wi-Fi signals around, so that's helping it give it its positioning. I didn't think so, but I don't know. I don't know. So if you do have a question, please tag me in chat. What was that? Okay. Okay, thanks, Lester Dog. I will yeah, hit me up on Discord if you would. So holy cow, I will do that, Goat. I will definitely do that. But if you have not subscribed, and he's not saying this for a sub bomb, but probably pretty much all of you are already subbed to him because he's got more subscribers than I do. But if you have not subscribed to Goat, you are totally missing out. So there are definitely those YouTubers. I mean, everybody in the community I love for different reasons. The reason why I love Goat is he's got great content that's different than everybody else's. He's covering different things. But the other part of it is he intermixes it with the driest humor and just makes me laugh. And so everybody needs a good laugh. Everybody needs good information. He ties it up in a bow and says, here you go. So if you haven't checked him out, check him out. He's great. So S. Chang asked me, what did I think of Hobbyist Miner's video today? I didn't really, I did listen to it, but I was on my way to lunch and then I got interrupted by the drive-through. And, but what I caught of it, I mean, I thought it was good. No big surprises. We all were there and we kind of know where things are at. And I bring this up all the time with everybody when we talk about this, is that proof of useful work for Flux. It's software development. And software development is unpredictable. Think about video games. This isn't a video game, but it's still software development. How many times have you heard a video game get delayed? Happens all the time. Does it mean that the game's unsuccessful when it comes out? Nope. Doesn't mean that. Just means there's a lot of disappointed customers and people flame the heck out of that company because it didn't come out when they said it was going to. And they never lose that reputation. But when the game eventually comes out, people are either going to like it or they're not. It's either going to be a good game or a bad game. Oh, no, I did not miss my celebrity appearance. I saw it. What was I on there for? Like 50 milliseconds? Anyway, I actually, funny thing you mentioned that, because you're like, oh yeah, you got an appearance in there. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm listening to it in the car and I'm like, where would I have been in that? So I'm like scanning on my phone, which is like difficult. I'm like trying to scan to find out where the heck it is. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I see a bunch of YouTubers here. So then there we go. Geek of all trades just gifting you all 5 max voltage mining and crypto memberships. So thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see who won them. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash with the first one. Ovalboard Tech with the second one. Joker Miner. Well, he's a big winner tonight. Ted and All Set. Awesome. So thanks again, Geek of all trades. Very, very much appreciate that. Did you get to 8,000? Oh, he did. I see that. Wait a minute. Did you sub with them with all your fake accounts? Okay. Sorry, not fake accounts. These are secondary accounts. That's what it is. I got it. That was what both of us use that to help Retro Mike get over 1,000. Because somebody had suggested in the chat, like, you can make pretty much about as many YouTube accounts as you want and subscribe with all of them. Like, really? Awesome. So that's what we did. Anyway, because I don't remember, was anybody in his stream when that was going on, and or whenever we were sub bombing? I don't know if it was somebody else that was sub bombing him, but yeah, he had a long way to go, but we got him there. So anyway, alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, congrats to Mr. Joker Miner, and I will look forward to meeting up with you. I think for both of us, I think it's if we meet up in between, I think it's less than a 2-hour drive for both of us, if I recall correctly. So alrighty, guys. Well, again, thanks you all for being here, and I will see you next Monday. And the General is out.